I drive to the train and I was crying my eyes out. I didn't understand. And they were crying. I was like, I'm going. And they were like, well, you don't even know where you're going. I said, I know where I'm going. I know what the Lord told me. And I said, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. But one thing I'm going to do is be obedient because I had such a peace about it.
This is Touched by Heaven. Everyday encounters with God. Those moments when heaven and earth collide. And we see God in these great encounter stories with angels, divine intervention, prophetic dreams, visions, near-death experiences. I am your host, Trapper Jack. Welcome. What if I asked you to imagine something for just the next several minutes here? And instead of just listening to another angel story, you're the angel. Follow this. You're the angel. And there is a woman out there, and she's in prayer, and she hears an inner voice. And that inner voice that she believes is God tells her to move to another state. No worries, she blows it off. It's like, I'm not doing that. But what if that voice that she believes is God, that inner voice, comes back in time and then says, yes, that state, here's exactly where I want you to go. Here's what you'll be doing, and here's how you're going to get there. And that you're going to be protected along the way. And that's where you come in because you're the angel. Because Anita is actually about to have an experience with an angel. God is going to send an angel. But what I'm curious about this time, as opposed to you just listening to the story, which is a great story, I'm curious what you would have done as an angel. If you've seen It's a Wonderful Life, it's like kind of like Clarence, what Clarence did. He kind of created. What would you have done in this episode? How you would look, how you would approach, that kind of thing. All right. Now, the question for you is, as this story unfolds, is to what degree you engage. Are you going to be kind of off in a corner following? Are you going to be visible, invisible? Are you going to blend in? Are you going to talk to this woman? You're going to have to decide that. It's your job. You're the angel. Okay. Her name is Anita. So here's your background information before deciding on how to approach or not.
Yeah, yes, my name is Anita. How are you?
I'm great. Where are you?
I am in Oklahoma.
Can you do the song?
What song?
The Oklahoma song.
I don't know.
Yes, you got to know the Oklahoma song.
I don't. I'm not from here. I was sent here.
From?
I was sent here from Texas by God.
By God. Well, that's good. But, even Texans know the Oklahoma song.
I don't know it.
Wait a minute. Hold on here. Let's see. How can I do this for you? I want to make sure you can hear this. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. Hold on a second. Here it goes.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
Ringing any bells there, Anita?
No, I've only been here 7 years, and I've never heard that song.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 52.
No excuse.
I've never heard it.
Yeah, right there. Oklahoma.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's all right. That's okay, Anita.
I am in Oklahoma. I was sent to Oklahoma by God. I was in Texas just going through a lot. And I was like, okay, Lord, if you're real, show me. Because I'm tired. I was going through a lot. And
What do you mean? In what area of life were you going through a lot?
I was in the hospital because I had kidney stones and my dad was passing. I was able to catch my dad as he was transitioning, and that happened. And I was a branch manager at IBC Bank in Austin, Texas. And my job called me and said that they were terminating me because I wasn't being accountable for my branch. So they actually terminated me on the phone.
Wow.
Yes.
Because you were paying attention to your dad.
Yes. And I knew that something was wrong because everything wasn't making sense. And when it's God, it does not make sense. A few days after, I heard the Lord say Oklahoma. I heard the Lord say Oklahoma, and that was on a Monday night. It was like about 8 p.m. I was praying.
Okay.
I was in the closet praying.
You want to explain that? You want to explain the closet?
Well, the closet is where I would just go and meet the Lord.
Okay.
And
that was your war room. That was your prayer room.
My war room, yes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, let me keep praying because I didn't hear that right. Let me just.
Was it interior or audible?
It was interior.
Okay. But
Mhm.
male-ish? Or was it your voice or
No, it was not my voice. It
okay.
was like male-ish. Yeah, male-ish. Subtle, very sweet,
Okay.
calm, like it always is. And so, I heard Oklahoma, and I was like, "No, I'm not going to Oklahoma. Let me just keep praying."
Did he sing Oklahoma or just say it?
No, no, he
Because if
just
he had
said it.
sung it, you wouldn't have forgotten it. Just
No,
saying.
he just said it. He just said it. It was clear as day. Like we know the Lord's voice. It's
Okay.
different, and you just know. That was on a Monday night. That was on a Monday night, and that's when I was questioning him. I was like, well, you don't question God, but I was asking questions. I was just like, okay, show me what's next. And Wednesday morning came around, and I was set. I was like, okay, I'm going to Oklahoma. I had such a peace that I could not explain. I had a peace in going to Oklahoma. I was being transitioned to a ministry in Oklahoma called Praise Assembly, and it's an apostolic ministry. And it's apostolic means sent. And at this ministry, people in the ministry are sent from different cities and states around the world.
Oklahoma. Where in Oklahoma?
Oh, Midwest City. I'm sorry,
Midwest
Midwest
City?
City. Yes. So I'm in Texas, and I have made my mind up. And I told my kids, I said, "Okay, I'm going to Oklahoma." And they were looking at me like, "Mom, what is wrong with you?" And I said, "Yes, I'm going to Oklahoma." I said, "I'm going to Oklahoma. Either you're going to drive me or I'm going to drive and I'll leave the keys in the car, but I'm going." And so my mind was made up. I said, "Okay, Lord." And I grabbed a piece of paper and I wrote it down. I said, "What do you want me to do? You want me to grab the kids? We're all going. Let's go. Let's pack up." And he said, "No." He said, "I said, you are going to Oklahoma. Leave everything you behind." He said, "If you are obedient, I will make your way prosperous." I said, "Okay."
Is this normal for you? Was this a normal this
It
you're
was
you're
not
handling
normal
this
for
like you've
me.
heard this before.
No, it was not normal for me. And I can tell it like this now because I understand. But back then I didn't
Okay,
understand.
so this was really new, very rare. This is out of nowhere.
Yet 7 years ago,
All right.
7 years ago, I told my kids I was going to Oklahoma and they did not believe me. I had one backpack, literally. He said, "Leave everything." I took like bare just essentials, just like hygiene, a few pairs of clothes, literally. I left
How old were your
everything.
kids that you were leaving?
My kids were Kayla was 21. She's my youngest, and my son was 24, but they were in college and working. So
Okay.
I was able to leave them
Yeah.
my home.
All
So
right.
they were able to take care of that. So I drive to the train and I was crying my eyes out. I didn't understand. And they were crying. I was like, "I'm going." And they were like, "Well, you don't even know where you're going." I said, "I know where I'm going. I know what the Lord told me." And I said, "It doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. But one thing I'm going to do is be obedient because I had such a peace about it." And so
Just to
I was
pause
going
for
to the
1 second here, getting this,
okay.
do you feel like you're Abraham being told to move, or do you feel like you're Moses being, leading the troops? I mean, what are you reading to help you do this?
I'm just hearing the voice of the Lord.
That's it.
I'm hearing the voice of the Lord. And the ministry that I was being sent to, I did contact the apostle there, the leader of the church.
Were you familiar with this group before you went?
Yes, I met them once. They
Yeah.
came to my church in Texas that I was a member of, and
Okay.
they visited us. But it had been like 2 or 3 years since they had been there. But I did remember her, and I had a card, so I knew how to get in contact with her.
Now, is this constant reassurance, confirmation that you are to do this? Does this come often, or just like weeks go by and you get it again? I mean, how does this work?
I heard it twice, only twice. That was the one time, and I just ignored it. And then it came again when everything else started to like dry up. Yes.
Like 3 years later?
Yes. Everything started to dry up. It was within that 3-year frame, but the last like say month or so, that's when everything started to dry up because I was in the hospital. I had kidney stones. I was back and forth.
You're losing your job.
Yes, and my dad, everything that I was concerned about, it was no longer a concern.
Okay, so to this point, you've heard Oklahoma, one
Mhm.
word.
Right.
And
Go through
then
my
here we are 3 years later, and now he's telling you who to connect with.
Yes, and I did that. I connected with her. She gave me instructions on what city to go to, who she was sending somebody for me. And that's how I was on my way on the train. I was catching the train. And that was my instruction, the train. It could have been the plane, it could have been my car because I had 2 cars. The Lord said the train, so I took the train.
Are you excited?
I was no, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
About scared?
I was very scared. Scared and kind of excited. Yeah, both. I'd say both.
Yeah. Yeah, just to pause you again, I'm going to pause you again because we sit in our churches and we sit at home with our Bibles and we read and then the Lord said it just goes in one ear and out the other. It's like yeah, maybe it's a different time, maybe it's whatever, and maybe it's yeah, and we're just kind of like yeah, whatever. And then when we hear you today saying it, do you know how many eyebrows are going up on one side, going hmm?
Yeah. Yes, but the thing about it is, and this is what I've learned over the years and just the Lord downloading into me what happened and why it happened. And now I truly understand being sent to a place because when you've been sent, you can't unsend yourself. Like you're gonna go willingly or unwillingly, but you're going to go. And then when the Lord tells you to do something, it's an unction. Like, the Holy Spirit lives within us, so it's an unction. Like, I don't I feel like I wasn't even like, it wasn't me, it was the Lord working through me, because it was something that I'm supposed to do here, like, I'm being sent from one place to another.
Oh,
So,
for whatever God's purpose.
yes, for my purpose and my destiny in the kingdom. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Okay, so I'm on my way to the train station, and I get my ticket, and from what I can see, I'm the only colored person there. Like, I'm not racist or anything, I'm just saying.
No, it's obvious, right? It's
Yes.
just obvious. Yeah, it's
Yes.
black and white.
Yes. Yes, and
Okay.
so, I've never been on a train before, never ever. I don't know the experience, I don't know anything. I'm not asking questions, I'm just being obedient because I know that the Lord is with me and He's gonna protect me, and I stood on that promise. And so I was standing in line after I got my ticket. We're about to board the train. And the sections, what are those called? The carts?
Yeah, the train cars.
The carts, yes, the cars. And so I look around and it's like about 8 of us. And they're kind of like the other people are like hippies. And I was like, okay, Lord, I don't want to be in the cart by myself. I said, but I don't want to be in the cart with anybody that's gonna like I'm gonna be afraid. I said, just let me be in the cart with somebody that I can trust or that's gonna, you know, I'll be okay, so to speak. And so we all boarded the cart, and when I got on and I turned around and put my bags above the seat.
Okay, Angel, it's time. Assignment is now on. She's about to turn and see you. What are you? Someone that just blends in? Someone really noticeable? Are you over in a corner? Are you a woman? A man? Are you a kid? Are you working for the train company? Are you old? Do you approach? Do you just sit far away or do you engage in conversation? You can't say, hey, how about the wings? No, there's no wings. There's nothing like that. But maybe is there something about you that is incredibly memorable, unforgettable, or would that be too bold a statement? Your job is to make sure she gets to where she is supposed to get. Seems simple, doesn't it? But who knows who or what else is on the train or what could happen at the stops along the way. If heaven had chosen you for this assignment, how would you have done it? Okay, Anita, turn around.
I turned back around and there was another colored lady, a black lady, sitting like diagonal from me. She was really beautiful, beautiful red hair, black woman. She was kind of light skinned and her smell was really sweet. It was like nothing I've ever smelled before. it was lingering.
Yeah.
And she sat diagonally from me. And I sat down and I was like, okay, well, this is good. And the train was clean. My ride was phenomenal. I had never seen anything like it. Everything was bright, the colors were bright. It was almost as if the train was brand new on the inside. Like, it was beautiful. I had never seen anything like it. They have Wi-Fi, they have the plug-in, the where you can plug your phone and charge it. Like, I've never seen anything like that. I
Okay.
was like, "Okay, this is good. I'm gonna enjoy this ride." And, like, about an hour in, the lady we never said anything to each other. We were just sitting there because she was far away from me, but I knew that she was there, and she saw me, and I saw her. And so an hour in, I noticed that the lady kept staring at me, and I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Where's my mace? Where is it?" I was like, "Something is gonna happen because she just kept staring at me, and I didn't know
Where's my
why.
mace?
Yes, yes, and so, like, I'm spiritual now, but I was not that spiritual when I first came, like, 7 years ago. So, she just kept staring at me, and I looked off from her. I didn't want her to keep looking, so I looked off, and I looked back at her, and she was still staring, so I actually got up, and I turned my back toward her, and I was like, "No, Anita, that's not a good idea, because what if she comes up on you and I can't defend myself?" And this is how I was thinking, to be honest, and so I
Mhm.
turned back around, and, I just, like, kinda turned from her so I wouldn't be looking at her, but I know she's looking at me. And so another hour in, I dozed off. I dozed off. It might have been like 45 minutes, give or take. And when I woke up, she was closer to me, maybe 2 seats, but still diagonal. And it kind of startled me. And I looked up and I looked at her and she was looking at me and I kind of like we did the stare down.
Yeah.
So I was looking at her and she's looking at me and she said, hello. And I said, hi. Like, okay, what's going on? And she said, my name is Chosen. I said, hi, my name is Anita. And then she said, I'm here to make sure that you get to your destination. Those were her exact words. I was like, okay, whatever that means. Like, okay. So we get to Fort Worth, Dallas Fort Worth. We have a layover for 2 hours. And when we get off the train, we go in, get our next, they had to give us boarding tickets for the next train. It's a different train. And so she's following me. And I notice that she's following me because I keep looking back. I'm just always aware of my surroundings. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go in Subway. I'm going to grab something to eat. And then everything is going to be good. Like maybe she'll talk to me or we'll have, more words. And so we get into Subway, and I sat down and I looked around, and there was nowhere else for her to sit. So she had to sit with me. And so she sat with me and she said, I know this seems weird, but she said, I'm going to watch your things while you go and use the restroom, and then you're going to watch mine while I go and use the restroom. I was like, okay, I was like, okay, like whatever. So I get up and I go to the restroom, but I take my things with me. 'Cause
I had a funny feeling. Yeah, you're not that trusting.
I don't know who this is. So I go to the restroom and I come back. She's still sitting there. She's still pleasant. It wasn't, her demeanor never changed. Like it was just a subtle, really sweet but quiet, but I still had one eye on her. So, and then she went to the restroom and she left her things as if she trusted me. And so she went to the bathroom and she came back and then I was eating a sandwich and she had one also. And when I was done, I said, okay, I'm walking away from her because we didn't really pass too many words. And I got up. So I got up and I was going to get some fresh air. While I was going out the door, well, if you looked out the window, you could see where it was a bad part of town.
Mm.
You could see where there were ladies walking around, there were maybe prostitutes, and there were men like kind of dressed up and I didn't notice that part until after I was gonna make the decisions I was gonna make, where the street was, where all the hookers were. And when I touched the door to open it, she said, "No, don't go out there." She said, "That's not a good idea." She said, "That's not a good place for you. You don't need to go out that door." And then I let the door shut. I had opened it a little bit, and the subway guy said the same thing. He said, "Yes, ma'am, she's right." He said, "Don't go out the door." And I said, "Okay." I was like, "Oh God, this is getting weird." And so, but I listened to her. And when I I kinda leaned over to look all the way out of the window, and yes, there were hookers and there were men. So, that would have been a bad idea for me, obviously.
All right, we're about to get on the next train and the big finale of all this. By the way, you're doing a great job as the angel, and this has a great finish in just a moment. Okay, quick Patreon shout out. Thank you so much, Josh Jung, who's been on this podcast just a couple of times. And thank you again for being a member of the Patreon family that is here. If you'd like to do the same and keep these episodes coming week to week, and just come here to what episode? We're at 200, try 427 here at touchedbyheaven.net. And just click your way on through to patreon.com. All right. Also, Medjugorje, we still have a link in the show notes. If you're interested in October 10th through the 18th in that bridge between heaven and earth of Medjugorje with Elizabeth and me and fellow Touched by Heaven listeners. All right. All right. Let's get on the train. Let's finish this up here at Touched by Heaven. Everyday encounters with God.
So I went into the train station and she comes with me, and everywhere I went, she wasn't right next to me, but I could tell that she could see me. And I didn't forget that she said that she was there to help me get to my next destination. And so the train came, it was 2 hours later. We get back on the train and it's just me and her again. This is a different train. So, and it was still beautiful. Everything was still clean. The scent was still there. And she sat 2 seats down diagonally from me. And so an hour into that ride, she says, Anita, if you are hungry or you're thirsty, if you go downstairs, there's a canteen, and then she said it's really beautiful. It's all glass, and you can actually see like the grass through the window, where it's like a beautiful sight. Like you can see a lot of things, butterflies, and just the trees. The way that she described it made it sound beautiful. So when I went down there, this was all glass.
Oh,
The
wow.
train was all glass.
Wow.
It's really beautiful. And so I went and did that, and I had a drink and some popcorn, and I came back and she said, "Oh, I'm still here." I was like, "Okay, you're still here." So I sat down and I started listening to music. I read a little bit, and so she said, and we got to Oklahoma City to the train station where I was getting off, and I looked at her again, and she was just smiling like she was like nothing. No more words. She didn't say anything else. And when we got the train stop, I grabbed my things and she grabbed hers. I was watching her at this time. And I turned around like from her and I grabbed my things from up top. So she was behind me and we're getting off the train. Like she's behind me. I could smell her. The scent is still there. She's so beautiful and so strong. So we're getting off the train. I see the couple that was sent to pick me up from the train from the church. I see them. And then I would also turn back and make sure that she was behind me, but to make sure she wasn't trying to do anything at
You
the
are
same
something.
time.
Wow.
And so I go down the stairs to get off the train. I step off the last step and I hug the couple that came for me because I met them once when they came up with the apostle. I turned around to tell her thank you. She was not there. She was not there. I asked the conductor, I said, "Where's the lady that was behind me? The lady that was in the cart." She had red hair. She was really bright, beautiful lady, beautiful, like skin just flawless. I said, "Where is she?" He said, "Ma'am, there was nobody in the cart with you. You were in the cart by yourself." He said, "There was never anyone with red hair. There was never any other colored lady. You were the only colored lady, person, female, like human being in the cart." He said, "Ma'am, there was no one else with you." And I said, "Oh my God, no, no." And I said, "Oh my God, she was an angel." I said, "It was somebody with me." And he was looking at me like I was crazy. He said, "Ma'am," he said, "there was nobody in the cart with you. Nobody." He said, "Even when you got on," because I was explaining to him everything that happened. He said, "No." He said, "Ma'am, you were the only one in the cart the entire time."
Yeah. You say car, but the train car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
train car.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
the train car.
Wow.
Yes, cause I just hugged them, like, I stepped down, I gave them a hug, I was ready to go, and I said, "1 second," and I turned around to tell her bye, and she was not there, but she had to be in eyesight, like, I would've seen her walking
Right.
away.
And nobody saw her.
Nobody saw
So
the
even the
lady that
couple you were hugging, they didn't see her.
they didn't see anybody they didn't see anybody behind me.
No one
They
was
were sta
following you out.
Yes.
No one beautiful and striking and
No. No,
wow.
nobody.
I love angel stories. I love angel
I do
stories.
too. That was the first time I've ever had anything like that happen to me.
Chosen.
Chosen, her name
I
was
love Chosen.
Chosen.
That's nice.
Yes,
That's nice.
yes. Every time I tell it, I just get teary-eyed.
You really have a judge of character. You think your angel's a thief.
I don't know. Well, at that time, I had to think like that because I wasn't in the place that I am now.
I know.
But now that I know, oh my God, it just
Yeah.
it's just so confirming, and I just love God even the more. Every time I think about it, like he said that he would make my way prosperous as long as I'm obedient. And he did that. And so everything he said, if you leave everything behind, he said, I will restore. Like the Lord is so intentional in everything that we do. Like he loves us and he loves me. And I know that I was sent to Oklahoma to fulfill my purpose and destiny in the kingdom. And I have been so blessed since I've been here. So blessed. Yes, it was scary in the beginning, but if you have been called and you have been sent, please just be obedient to the Lord and let Him help you. Let Him lead you to your purpose and your destiny because it's so beautiful.
Amen. You got to
So
trust
beautiful.
it. You have to trust it.
Yes,
You have to identify
yes,
it. You have to know the
yes.
voice.
Acknowledge it. Yes, acknowledge it because it can be scary.
Mm-hmm.
And he will allow there's some things God does not punish us, but there's some things that he will allow to get our attention. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna go on your own. So let me just dry this up for you." So yeah.
And obedience, it's at the top of the list. Obedience
Obedience.
is just the top of the list because if
Obedience
God
is
calls you to
better.
do something and you shrug it off and then just, no, I'm just going to pray, Lord. I'll just pray over here in Texas. I mean, it just, you're being disobedient, you know?
Yes, obedience is better than sacrifice.
You know, it's funny. You don't know this about me probably, but songs bubble up in my head, and God guides me through music that I then spiritualize the lyrics. And it's really funny. Over the years, one of the songs that plays, and it's like I don't know if it's Ground Clutter or from him, but it's the song "I Wish I Was in Dixie." And I wish I was in Dixie. Well, that's the South. And I'm going. Am I supposed to be going somewhere? It's not specific like Oklahoma, but I keep.
Yes.
I wish I was in Dixie.
'Cause that's my mom's name,
What is
Dixie.
your? So I'm getting a song about your mom. That's what's the problem.
No,
I wish I knew
no.
Dixie.
No, it's just like I believe that everything is spiritual. And
Yeah.
even like because we were supposed to meet before and do the interview, you and I just my schedule is so demanding because I work at I'm assistant director at a children's shelter in Midwest City. And we house children 0 to 17 years that are brought to us from DHS. And so we just take care of them. We are their guardians. And it is such a blessing to be able to pour into these children who have nothing and nobody.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, God bless you.
Yeah.
So that's why you
Thank
were called.
you. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I always ask my guests, "What's the takeaway?" What do we learn from this? What's our takeaway? So, what's our takeaway, Anita?
Our takeaway is just to always trust God and just be obedient. Just be obedient. And it might not always seem right, and it might not always seem easy. But remember that if it doesn't make sense, it's definitely God.
I don't know if that's a blanket statement. I don't know. That's a blanket statement. Making if it doesn't make sense, I don't know.
Yes,
But it can keep you.
yes,
God can keep you off balance. No question.
yes, because it's faith. Faith
Yeah.
is seeing in something that we don't believe, like believing in something that we don't see.
Hmm.
Like you don't like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, we have to
And
step
yet
out
and
of
yet there's reason to it. There's always faith and
Mhm,
reason.
mhm.
But don't get too logical or it'll slip away from you. Yeah.
Yes, it will. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it will.
Um,
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
should we go out on Oklahoma? Do you remember any of the song?
Oh my goodness, no. I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna talk to you again.
Okay. Oklahoma. There's your Oklahoma song. She'll know it by the next time we talk. Thanks, Anita, for your story. Man, you have faith. That's a lot to be able to discern. But you read the Bible and people who can. And if you know the voice of God, obedience over sacrifice. That's biblical, and she quoted it too. You got to know, and she knew. Wow. And by the again, great job as the angel. I don't know if the picture of you as an angel was even close to what showed up on that train, but beautiful angel. Chosen. All right. You have been chosen to have the next story. Just get a hold of me here at touchedbyheaven.net. Your angel story or divine intervention, prophetic dream, vision, or near-death experience. Who knows? Your next experience could happen in Medjugorje, October 10th through the 18th. Check the show notes, and I'll see you next week here at Touched by Heaven. Everyday encounters with God. And to sum it all up, Anita, what would you say this episode for you was incredible and wonderful?
I was no, no, I was not.